Come check out our website, Thriving Plant Based, for full-length yoga classes, our daily food journals, group coaching, question and answer forum, private videos, and a whole lot more.
Hey guys, I wanted to make a quick video about Chaturanga, how to get in and out of it properly and how to know when you're ready to begin jumping back to Chaturanga in your vinyasa practice. So first we're going to go over the alignment of basic Chaturanga. Come into plank pose. My shoulders are right over my wrist. My thighs are very active and I'm drawing my belly in. Now, before I lower down into Chaturanga, I'm going to press forward on my tippy toes so that my shoulders actually come in front of my wrists. And then as I lower down, I'm going to keep my gaze just a bit in front of me, about 1.5 feet in front of my fingertips. So I lower down, leading with the chest, hugging the elbows in, keeping that belly pulled in and keeping the thighs active. So the gaze is very important as you lower down into Chaturanga because you never want to hang your head, and it's going to help you when you begin to jump back in your practice. So for example, if I'm lowering into Chaturanga, I don't want my gaze to be straight down. It's going to tip my shoulders forward. It's going to throw everything off. So lift your chin very slightly away from the chest and lower down, keeping the gaze in front of you. Now, as your practice advances and you get a little bit stronger, you'll be able to jump back into Chaturanga. Now, if you feel a little bit weak in Chaturanga, or if it's very challenging for you and you feel like the upper body just gets exhausted, I want you to focus more on engaging the core, so pulling the belly in and activating the thighs in Chaturanga. This should help take some of the weight out of that upper body and take it into the lower body and to the core. So when you're preparing to jump back into Chaturanga, you bring the hands onto the floor, and I'm going to bend my knees before I jump back. Now, instead of hopping back and thinking of jumping up, I'm going to do it actually incorrectly here and show you the difficult way to do it. Okay, so that's not the way that we want to do it. You want to think of hopping back to Chaturanga a little bit more like just shooting your legs back into Chaturanga. So I'm going to bring my hands onto the earth. My fingers are going to be spread fairly wide. I'm going to bend into my knees, and my gaze, I'm not going to take my gaze down onto the ground, because when I do that, my shoulders are likely to tip forward. It's just not going to work out as well. So I'm going to keep my gaze right about here. That's where I'm going to be looking at. So you're going to bend into the knees, and I'm going to pull my belly in here. So really engage your core. So it's just like this action that's happening right before you jump back. So I'm really engaged. I'm keeping my gaze forward. And instead of hopping and taking a big leap, I'm going to think of it as shooting my legs back into Chaturanga. So engage the core. So it becomes a much more simple movement. So we're not putting as much stress on the shoulders. We're not landing into it really heavy. We're just shooting the legs back. So let's see, again, one more time. You would inhale and find length, and then place the hands down. So I want, when I place the hands down, your fingertips are almost, or just kind of right about in line with the tips of the toes. That's where you want it to be. I'm taking my gaze forward slightly. I'm bending into my knees. I'm engaging my core, and I'm shooting my legs back. So let's go through that Chaturanga jump back one more time. Come to the top of your mat. Inhale, find length in the spine. And then as you exhale, place the palms down, bend into the knees, take the gaze slightly forward, engage the belly, and shoot the legs back. You really want to think of landing lightly. So you don't want to just, you shouldn't hear a loud on the ground every time you jump back to Chaturanga. Think of landing as lightly as you can, and this will cause you to engage your core more and put less stress on the shoulders and less stress on the upper body. Now let's talk about moving from Chaturanga into upward facing dog. So as we're here in Chaturanga, we want to push forward slightly and roll the shoulders back and up into upward facing dog. So there's a lot of space throughout the entire movement, between the tops of the shoulders and the ears. So we're always looking to lengthen the neck and create space and freedom right here. Anytime the shoulders creep up, we're compressing, we're tensing. It's no bueno for the neck. So let's try the whole movement one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Place the hands down, bend the knees, take your gaze slightly forward, engage that core, and think of shooting the legs back. Good. Flip the toes over and roll the shoulders back. So I'm opening up the heart. None of this, right? None of this. Rotate them back and open up the heart. So squeeze the shoulder blades together slightly, press down into the hands, make the neck as long as you can, and look slightly up towards the sky. I hope this little video was helpful for you guys. If you have any other questions on Chaturanga or anything else, leave them in the forum and I will answer them either via text or a video. Have fun, guys. Mwah.